Willkommen zurück zu Super Segoku Buchclub.
Dem besten
Wir,
Kanal auf YouTube.
wir lesen Infinity Sun von Adam Silvera.
True.
Boy, Best Boy. Ähm, ja, wir nähern uns dem Ende langsam.
Ui, es
Haben
wird
nur noch
spannend.
also, also keine Sorge, das Ende vom ersten Buch.
Ja.
Da kommt ja noch ein bisschen
I
was.
wish, das hätte ich
Also,
damals gewusst, als ich bei dem Teil war. Ich war so,
ja,
das ist noch so mittendrin alles. Es kann ja gar nicht vorbei sein. Und guess
kann
what?
ja
Es
gar
war nicht vorbei und ich durfte
einfach
warten auf den
nicht
nächsten
vorbei.
Teil. Okay.
Ja, jedenfalls geht's heute zum Endspurt von diesem Buch. Letztes Mal waren wir voll so im Leben mit, das wurde so infiltriert da, ne? Die Nova-Basis oder wie die hieß.
Yes. Also Ness wollte
Und
gerade weggehen,
ja, der wollte so abhauen. Weil,
sein Leben in den Griff bekommen, bis er dann gesehen hat, Brudi, die haben diese, Unsichtbarkeits-Defense-Dings von Nova kaputt gemacht, die Bösen. Okay, aber ne?
ja,
Und dann war er so, oh shit, und ist zurückgegangen. Und der Phoenix ist ja da auch noch, der Century, nee, warte doch, der Century Phoenix, I don't know, ist es nicht
genau,
Century?
ja, das hieß
Und dann ist er zurückgegangen und Brighton ist halt mit Maribel weggegangen und deswegen haben alle Brighton gesucht, weil der nichts gesagt hat und dadurch haben Emil und Ness ihn gesucht und dann ist halt alles so den Bach runtergegangen und wenn Brighton nicht, also hätte Brighton einfach irgendwas gesagt, wäre das alles nicht passiert und ja, jetzt ist halt doof, ne? Ness wurde jetzt weggesnatcht in Form von Emil und uff.
das Ei ist auch weg.
Ja,
Das hat June oder so, glaube ich, gehabt.
also wir haben quasi in aller Linie verkackt.
Richtig. Und
Epic.
jetzt, wir wussten noch so, dass ein paar von den Girl Celestials, Maribel und wie die da alle hießen, nach hinten abgehauen sind mit Autos oder sowas.
Mhm.
Und was war der letzte Punkt von Emil? Ich weiß nur, äh, noch. Falsche Richtung gescrollt. So, jetzt. Ach so, irgendwer war noch irgendwas mit einem Phoenix, oder? Maribel? Oder die fliegen konnte.
Maribel hat auch Phoenix Powers.
Ja, meine ich ja.
Ja.
Das,
War
das
das
hat
letzte
man
Mal?
auch rausgefunden.
Achso.
Ja,
Ja,
ja.
ihre Eltern sind nicht wirklich ihre Eltern gewesen und so.
Ja, das
Die Klassiker.
who cares?
Ja, und sie ist natürlich wieder komplett ausgerastet und hat alle verlassen und so. As one does.
Ja, okay.
42. Eduardo Iron. Iron.
Iron.
Iron.
Ich jetzt, also wie Eisen.
Ja, natürlich. Ness. I don't feel right when I wake up. This room is unfamiliar, but it's not tough to figure out I'm on a boat. A life jacket sits in a corner, framed picture of an anchor line the cabin wall. The floor is wobbling. Okay. And the smell of salt water fills the small space. I just don't know whose boat. My lower back stings from the enforcer's stunning spell. Someone left me on the floor even though there's a perfectly fine white leather couch. I get up and immediately topple over, banging into the floor and shouting. The door opens. There's time to morph, but there's no point. The owner of this boat knows who I am. I don't have much in the way of weapons, but I grab a marine biology textbook off the shelf because it's a lot heavier than my fist. My grip loosens immediately when the light catches the man's face. The senator. His suit is crisp and his black hair is slicked back, and I never understood how someone who devotes so much energy to hating Celestials can find the time for all this maintenance. But he always did say that appearances are everything. You're supposed to be dead, the senator says, adjusting his glasses. He's not even looking me in the eye. You're supposed to be happy I'm alive. The senator reviews the remaining books on the shelf. Yes, well, unfortunately your life puts me in a tricky situation this close to the election. Are you serious? Quite. I've put years into this campaign. More years spent on politics than parenting, that's for sure. Only one of those paths was truly intentional, Eduardo. I cannot believe I come from this monster. Why haven't you killed me? Believe me, the thought has crossed my mind. The senator pulls bourbon out of the mini fridge and pours himself a drink. Certainly wouldn't be the first time I tried. It's as if he's thrown me overboard and is watching me drown. That wasn't you. Luna was responsible for the blackout. We were united by a common enemy. The growing support for the Spellwalkers negated everything my campaign stood for. Not ideal when you're running against a celestial candidate. In exchange for my staying out of her affairs, Luna and I reached an agreement to eliminate the Spellwalkers. There's no one in the world who truly knows the Senator or Luna. I was raised under his roof. I trusted Luna when she put shifter blood in me. Neither loved me. But why me? Come on, Eduardo, you're smarter than this. I certainly paid for higher education at least. The support I gained from your death was immeasurable. That grieving father, father who wanted justice for his son's death, especially after losing his wife years before to more celestial violence. Hello, White House. The senator's smile fools the world, but I see him for who he really is. I charge straight at him, and his fist catches me between the eyes. I'm seeing stars from the floor when his foot connects hard into my side over and over. This is the person I feared so much that I risked death, hoping it would give me the power to hide from him. Someone who punches his son after telling him he coordinated his murder in the name of his own political agenda. You're a heartless monster. Monster? You're the one with unnatural blood. Luna is crafty. It wasn't in our agreement to let you live, but I suppose she took her precautionary measures in case I stepped out of line and interfered with her dealings. Exposing you to the world would have been my downfall. You must have pissed her off significantly for her to reach out to let me know that you were alive, knowing that I would send my guys to go collect you. That chaos was because of me. Did Emil get out alive? What do you want from me? Your power could be very valuable to me. Impersonate Congresswoman Sunster and her committee and help me tank her support. Then after I've secured the presidency, we can bring you back to life, but keep your powers discreet. There will be plenty of opportunities to use them during my terms. I'll never help you, I say. Maybe sometime in the bounds will change your mind. That's where we're headed. We're crossing the river to get to the New York bounds, where some of the toughest of Celestials are locked up, where they kill each other for survival and sport. I'll expose you. Word will get out of your entire will get out that your entire campaign is a lie. You'll tell your fellow prisoners that you are the son of the man whose policies are the reason they're behind bars. Best luck surviving that, Eduardo. Your time to reveal your truth has long passed. But I'm being fair and giving you the option to either help me win this election or fight for your life in the bounds. The senator has no false smiles for me. I need an answer fast. Who are you going to be? Alter. Wofür wird sich entscheiden?
Oh.
43. Shining bright.
Alter.
Brighton.
Bright.
I turn away from my laptop and stare at the crowned dreamer from outside my window. So much has changed since the constellation first returned to the sky. I was getting ready to leave for college. Emil and I were powerless together. But now the stars are shining their brightest before vanishing by morning, and Maribel Lucero is sitting on my bed after the most game-changing month of my life. I'm famous. I have purpose. I've proven time and time again that Emil might be the one with powers, but I'm still powerful. Maribel is honoring Atlas with Instagram posts, my idea. She had the password to his account and decided she wanted to post 3 photos. Atlas's first day in New York, in front of a map that inspired his name, a selfie of Atlas and Maribel during some rooftop date that was too hard for her to talk about, and the last of Atlas sleeping with a smile on his face. She doesn't speak to me when writing out her last caption or any before, but after this, we're hitting the streets to find any leads on Luna's whereabouts. Wherever Luna is, June won't be far. Done, Maribel says, pocketing her phone. She's paying no mind to all the geeky spellwalker stuff I have around the room, including the art print I have of her. Her eyes glow like sailing comets, but one is brighter than the other as dark yellow flames burst between her palms. Maribel's fire sounds different from Emil's, less of a screech and more of a roar. Roar. She has a greater handle on hers too. Let's see how Emil likes that. Ich glaube, ihm ist es ziemlich egal. Brighton, du wärst vielleicht hart eifersüchtig. Aber ich glaube, Emil ist ganz glücklich, wenn Maribel klarkommt. Und nicht so, oh mein Gott, der ist besser als ich. Ich mache ein YouTube-Video gegen die.
Nicht ich.
Ist so unfair, dass die mehrere Powers hat.
Ja, ernsthaft, warum hat die jetzt 2 Sachen?
Okay. Let's go kill June, she says. You got it, Infinity Daughter. She's not amused. I still can't believe everything about Maribel's true lineage. I thought we covered this ground already with Emil, but of course his own story is so huge that it involves a spellwalker I've admired for years. I'm about to close my laptop when a news notification blows up. Nova was attacked, I say. The school was infiltrated by enforcers and Celestials were taken into custody. There's a warning for everyone to stay inside and wait out the constellation as authorities believe the night will bring more chaos as Celestials ride the high of the Crown Dreamer. 8 deaths have been confirmed. Give me your phone. I lost mine in the cemetery. I don't know anyone's number but Emil's and Mars. They were drilled into me when Dad was sick, and both their lines go straight to voicemail. But I can't assume the worst. There's a million reasons why they wouldn't have their phones. They left them behind. They didn't keep up with charging them since everyone they needed was under the same roof. This has to be Luna, Maribel says. She didn't make her move until we had something of hers that she couldn't get without help. What's our move? We head for the church. I'm praying, okay. Let's count on Luna having the Phoenix. She'll have her entire gang backing her up too. We go hit them with everything we've got before they become unhittable. Emil is still alive, I say. The blood and bones feeling won't let me believe anything else. He'll be there too. If anyone gets in our way, we strike them down, got it? I nod. I want to be a better soldier for you, I say. I'm listening. Everything is a long shot, stopping Luna, killing June, getting out of the church alive. My big plan to put an end to all the insanity we faced, but we leave the apartment with a dangerous amount of hope anyway, because the odds being unlikely don't make them impossible.
Alter. Ich darf auch noch was lesen.
Ja, du hast das Abschlusskapitel.
Das Abschlusskapitel 44. The Crown Dreamer. By the way, ich denke mir die ganze Zeit bei The Crown Dreamer, das ist irgend so eine menschenähnliche Figur, die am Himmel schwebt und dunkel ist. Und so angeleuchtet wird von unten.
Und eine
So
Krone auf
mitten in
hat.
der Stadt. Hä?
Und eine Krone auf hat.
Maybe, who knows. Aber like, das muss ich mir ganz viel vorstellen. Ich denke mir so, okay, und like, der schwebt da seit mehreren Tagen und die starren, manche Leute schauen den an und dann gehen sie weiter und
Natürlich, natürlich.
der sinkt irgendwie ab oder so und dann werden Leute stärker.
Ja, genau, das ist eine Constellation. Ein Typ, der
Ja,
am Himmel
ich weiß,
steht.
aber es klingt halt nicht so. Das klingt, als wäre so ein Ding, so eine Statue oder so.
Mhm.
Es klingt nicht wie ein paar Sterne am Himmel.
Es könnte auch der Schwan oder so sein. Dann würde man die ganze Zeit denken, okay, da ist so ein Schwan im Himmel, aber nein, ist halt auch das Sternzeichen LOL.
Aber nee, ich denke nicht
Der
Constellation.
große Bär.
Nein, das ist einfach was anderes. Ja, ja, jedenfalls. Äh, The Crown Dreamer, Emil. When will this end? Phoenixes endure endless cycles of life and death, but I'm done being the Infinity Sun. Ooh, he said the thing again oder so. I don't know. I come home to an empty apartment that's straight wrecked. Whack.
Wack.
Brighton isn't here and I'm out of ideas. If he decided to take off to Los Angeles and focus on school and start over and never talk to me again, I could make peace with that, as long as he's alive. I go in our bedroom, which smells like someone lit a match, and I collapse onto his bed and cry into his pillow because he might be dead. And there's no way Ma is going to survive her eldest dying, especially so soon after that. Why did I have to be reborn into this? When the pain becomes too much, I get out of bed. I go into Brighton's drawer and grab one of his favorite shirts that he must have missed when packing. Brighton was always going to stick his nose where it doesn't belong, but I didn't have to engage with his war. I drag myself to the bathroom to touch up my blazing wounds. I remove the baggy shirt in front of the mirror, and to honor Ness, I keep my eyes on the body he claims is beautiful. Ich hoffe, da kommt, also Emil hat jetzt so eine narzisstische Runde, die jetzt beginnt.
Natürlich, natürlich.
So, to be honest, I am kind of beautiful.
Ich meine, wird ihm gut tun.
Maybe,
So
aber es
sehr
könnte auch
wie
zu
er
viel
alles
werden.
hasst an sich.
I don't know. Das wird so noch komisch am Ende. I shouldn't have involved him either. Everyone I touch burns. I press down hard with the gauze. Gauze? Okay. Cleaning up the blood and fix new bandages across my cuts. I pull on Brighton's white shirt with a minimalistic camera design over the pocket. The shirt is fitted way snugger than anything I've allowed myself to wear in years. I'm going to rock it like armor. The lock on the front door twists, but there are no keys jingling from outside. I fight past the pain to conjure a fire orb, but it's Prudencia entering with Iris and Wesley. I slam into her with a hug. Prudencia takes me to the couch and tells me everything. Ma and Eva are on their way to the shelter in Philadelphia, where Ruth will watch over them. Other Celestials have been spread out everywhere with short trips to New Jersey and longer journeys to Ohio. There's no sign of Brighton or Maribel, but I have hope that maybe they're together when they tell me Maribel recently uploaded some tributes to Atlas on his Instagram. That sounds like Brighton's doing. I tell them about Ness being exposed and taken captive. Wesley stares at the constellation through the window. We need to stop Luna. She's the heart of all this pain. We don't stand a chance, I say. Four against however many acolytes and bloodcasters will be there, and Prue and I didn't grow up using our powers. Everyone gets a boost, but the Crown Dreamer is on the side of Celestials above all, Iris says. Wesley will be faster, and I will be stronger, and Prudentia will be more powerful. We are not as outmatched as you think. Maybe it's time we turn it over to the authorities, I say. Get the enforcers to take out Luna. They haven't cared before, and I don't see them starting now, Iris says. We don't need to beat everyone. If we can get close enough to kill Luna or the Phoenix, we can end this. I shake my head. No, Gravesend is a newborn. She needs to live long enough to grow that muscle. If anyone kills her now, she won't ever resurrect. Luna won't either, Iris says. If we can save the Phoenix, we will, but if we can't, we must do what has to be done. You're not calling the shots here, Emil, especially not after you were ready to walk. But we do need you to fight alongside us. It would be easier if I walked away from this battle, to spend tonight tracking my brother. No lie, there have been times the past few days where I was hoping for a quick death, but what I want is a long life, and I know I can't have that if Luna lives forever. Wesley nods. It's what we all want, but I hear you. We got to grow into our roads, and you were pulled out of home suddenly. Honestly, I'm surprised you've stayed in for this long. This is the fight of our lives, Iris says. If we don't move now, the sacrifices of everyone we've lost will have been for absolutely nothing. If we lose, Luna can rise to power, and alchemists everywhere will stop at nothing to figure out her formula. And if they succeed, we have a world that's overrun with immortals fighting beyond the end of time. We leave home. During the ride over, we gear up in powerproof vests Iris had packed away. I wonder how much stronger I could be if I hadn't been cut up with the Infinity Ender, but I take what I can get. During stoplights, Prudencia tests the elevated strength of her telekinesis out the window, lifting a parked motorcycle, knocking over a trash can. Wow. Ich hoffe, die räumt danach auf mit ihren Kräften.
Natürlich,
Alter.
natürlich, sowieso.
Ist so, kippt das volle Kanne um, Müll liegt überall und ist so alles eins nach dem anderen wieder rein. Wow. She's proud and hopeful, and I wish I felt the same. We'll reach the Alpha Church of New Life. Was ein Name.
Mhm.
Wusstest du, dass es einen See gab, der Mega Shed hieß? It isn't massive, but it's impressive. The bricks are dark grey with steeples as blue as Gravesend's feathers. We're spotted immediately when we get out of the car, and a sniper in the building next door fires a rapid bolt at me, which Prudencia sweeps away. Wesley takes the lead, faster than ever, and lays out acolytes left and right like a game of pinball, and he bursts through the front door. We run inside, and there are murals of various creatures. It's refreshing to see them illustrated so peacefully and living their lives out in nature instead of the usual, like three-headed hydras viciously attacking cities or basilisks swallowing children whole or shifters deceiving loved ones or phoenixes being drowned. Sad. I blast open a large door that leads us into the garden. And there they all are. Luna is in a ceremonial cape that drapes down to the floor. Standing beside ankle prints, Stanton, June, and Dion are all dressed in grey jumpsuits with half a dozen acolytes surrounding them. Thankfully, there's no shield like the one in the cemetery.
Ich stelle mir so vor, wie die so alle drei zu H&M gehen und sich so graue Jogginganzüge oder so. Oder, I don't know, like alle so das Gleiche rausholen und sind so, nee, Stanton, das steht dir voll nicht. Lass uns doch lieber was anderes suchen. Wir müssen aber auf jeden Fall alle das Gleiche tragen.
Ja, das wäre sonst nicht so zeremoniell
Echt
genug.
so.
Ich
will aber keinen Jumpsuit tragen. Aber du musst. Was sollen wir sonst tragen? Kleider oder was?
Mäntel.
June steht daneben, kann nicht reden.
Roben.
Roben.
Haben eigentlich so eine Nähabteilung. Okay. Luna turns her back on us, muttering a prayer as she swings a massive scythe over the Hydra's neck. Okay. The Hydra roars in pain, and Stanton holds it down as Luna hacks away, yellow blood spraying and pooling into a metallic cauldron. Gravesend is screeching in her cage. We all break. June appears behind me and wraps her arms around my chest, kneeing me in the back repeatedly. Wow, how? June kann like durch Sachen, aber sie ist nicht super schnell, glaube ich, oder?
I mean,
Partie.
Partie.
Ja. I cast my fiery wings and take flight, shaking June off, and she crashes to the floor. I fly straight to Anglin as he twists open the urn, but a bolt from an acolyte once blasts me in the center of my vest. My world spins as I'm flipping toward the bronze spikes of the gate. Suddenly, I'm jerked in mid-air and fall into a cluster of bushes. That was close, Prudencia says as she helps me up. Before I can thank her, we see Iris being cornered by Dion and Stanton. I do what I can. Be careful. Be careful! I shout as she runs off. I don't know.
Be
I
careful.
knock out. Be careful! I knock out an acolyte with a fire dart and fight past others trying to reach Luna. The ghosts have been released from the urn, and even though their mouths are moving, no words are coming out. It's the same howl as the night from the cemetery, except even more haunting and bone-chilling empty. Everyone feels it too, but the battle keeps going. Luna isn't looking to capture this time. She's going to kill them with the dagger fully made of bone. How? Warum ist so, ja, wie bringt man Geister um? Mit einem Messer aus Knochen.
Ja, das hat bestimmt ganz große chemische, ne?
Absolut, das sind so deren
Gründe.
alten Körper und die haben so eine Bindung und deswegen können die
Sowieso.
Schaden machen. Ja. I'm hurling a fire orb when an acolyte targets me, screwing up my aim. Oh, Luna is swift as she runs the Oblivion dagger across the necks of her mother and father, their grey blood spilling into the cauldron before their ghostly bodies fall face first into the grass and fade away. Alter, Luna ist bestimmt voll geübt, ihre Eltern in den Nacken zu schneiden.
Ja, sie hat sie umgebracht.
Ja, aber vielleicht genau auf dieselbe Art und Weise.
Maybe.
She mixes the bloods with powders and liquids I don't know, and she turns to Gravesend's cage. I finally wrestle the acolyte off me, and as Stanton charges me, a red bolt catches him in his side and he drops, his skin flaring as if being burned from the inside. I turn. Brighton is standing at the entrance of the garden with a wand in each hand, and Maribel has orbs of dark yellow fire rolling around her palms. The fire orbs fly like arrows and Dion drops to the ground. Woo! Dream team. Dream asses. I'm in shock, but I have to protect Gravesend. Anglin blocks my path and I fight him like I've been doing this my entire life. Punch to the gut, elbow to the chin, kick to the knee. I'm about to wind up a final blow when he quickly withdraws a dagger and slices my arm. Anglin holds the dagger above his head and he's driving it down. He's set ablaze. Roaring streams of dark yellow fire flow from Maribel's fists and she doesn't let up until Anglin Prince screams go quiet. There's no remorse on her face as she helps me up. Why are you looking at me like that? You killed him, I say. She's next, Maribel says as she spots June across the garden and pursues her. Luna opens Gravesend's cage, but I cast a fire arrow into her shoulder and she falls. I grab Gravesend out of her cage, holding her to my chest. Even with Brighton and Maribel joining the battle, the tides are turning against us. Stanton and Dion have recovered and appear more vicious than ever. The potion is nearly done, and all it needs is Gravesend's pure blood. I pick up the Infinity Ender. I'm sorry, I say to Gravesend as she looks up at me with adoring eyes. I was the first person she saw when she was born, and I have to sacrifice her for a world she never got to see. This is wrong, I can't. The blade is snatched out of my hand, and Luna drives it straight into Gravesend's heart while she's still in my arms. Gravesend's brief cry sounds like all the pain in the world. I'm staring into her eyes as the fire goes out, and I'm completely frozen when Luna rips the blade out of Gravesend and stabs me in the stomach. Wow, Luna ist fast oder er ist like so schock,
Ja, er
dass er
meinte ja
nicht
gerade,
mehr
er
reagieren.
ist ja completely frozen.
Ja, aber like dadurch glaube ich, dass er schon, I don't know. Naja. The pain blazes as she twists the blade. The wrenches Gravesend out. She wrenches Gravesend out of my arms, and I slam on my back, staring up at the crowned dreamer, whose brilliant light fades from me as my eyes close. I hear screams all around me, and I'm hoping my people are all good. I want them to run and hide. This is all a done deal. I pull the infinity ender out of my stomach and press down on my wound while trying to breathe. I look up to find Luna draining Gravesend's dark blue blood over the cauldron. I'm too weak to call for help. Every breath needs to be used to stay alive. Luna takes a step back from the cauldron and throws in a pouch of stardust, and it all erupts in see-through flames that smell of rainy evenings in the park and houses on fire. Luna is shaking as she scoops up enough potion to fill a round bottle that looks like an empty snow globe. The elixir looks like dirty seawater. Mm. Red bolts strike through the air, blowing apart the cauldron and flying through Luna's stomach. Her eyes widen and she falls to the floor, choking. Elixir splashes out of her bottle, but she's protected most of it. I try crawling to her. I spill it out myself and turn my back on Luna as she dies. Brighton and Maribel run up to me. "You're going to be okay," Brighton says, kneeling beside me. "Stop her," I say as Luna tries bringing the potion to her lips. Maribel steps on Luna's wrist and snatches the bottle. "So close," she taunts. Brighton moves over to Luna, hovering over her face. "You thought I was nothing more than a pawn, and look who stopped you." He holds out his hand and Maribel passes him the potion. "Who's the king now?" "Pour it out," I say, but he doesn't, and it feels like someone is squeezing my heart. There's someone who wants power even more than Luna. "Brighton, don't do this. That potion is untested. You could die like the dad did." Brighton stares at the elixir. "Better than living powerless." My brother looks up at the crowned dreamer as he drinks every last drop of Reaper's blood. So ein Scheiße, ey. Hui,
Deswegen heißt der nächste Teil also Infinity Reaper.
Oh mein Gott.
Ja, ne?
Man.
Patisserie.
Ja, ne? Also,
Ja.
I guess Maribel und Brighton sind jetzt so das Rebellenteam von den
Ja.
Leuten. Sind jetzt so, ist schon wieder krass. I don't know, I guess man wird den einfach einsperren und dann wird er sein Leben hassen oder so.
Einfach einsperren. Jemanden, der, I don't know, was da alles drin? Geist, Hydra und
Ja, aber
Phönix.
ging es aber nicht nur ums nicht sterben, also like wiederbelebt, schnell regenerieren, sondern.
Ja, aber er hat ja trotzdem die ganzen Fähigkeiten.
Ach so,
Darum geht's ja.
ich weiß nicht, wie Geist ist, aber wenn er dann
I mean, darum geht's ja. Sie kann nicht getötet werden, also er jetzt. Kann nicht getötet
Ja.
werden, weil er einfach wegdingsen kann, wird wiedergeboren, weil Phönix, und wenn irgendwas passiert, dann kann man es wieder growen. Also das ist ja nicht einfach nur für immer leben, sondern es ist für immer leben durch die Powers, die combined sind.
I guess, I don't know.
Wurde ja so erklärt.
Ja, aber ich weiß nicht, was da alles an Fähigkeiten ist.
Ich glaube, das sind nur die
Ist
drei.
Geist eine Fähigkeit?
I mean,
Geist sein.
alles, was June bis jetzt gemacht hat, ziemlich fähigkeitig.
Geist, Bro. Heißt June Geist? Ich weiß nicht, ob das hier erklärt wurde.
Hä? Ja,
Ja?
natürlich.
Okay.
Deswegen kann sie Leute possessen und durch Wände gehen und durch den Boden rutschen.
Ja, aber wurde jetzt gesagt, dass sie actually like, von dem
Natürlich.
Geist ist? Ja,
Mehrfach.
okay. Ja, like, ich weiß, dass sie Fähigkeiten hat, aber like, ja. Wurde jetzt nicht so.
June, a
ich
specter
erinnere
with ghost blood who can phase through solid object and possess people.
Okay. Gut. I don't know, daran erinnere ich mich nicht.
Wow.
Like. Aber es ist jetzt auch die Beschreibung, also who knows.
Ach ja, Brighton Ray, the creator of the online series Celestials of New York, drank Reaper's blood for the powers of a Phoenix, Hydra and Ghost. Ach ja.
Was schaust du gerade?
Im nächsten Buch steht am Anfang nochmal eine Zusammenfassung.
Ach so, okay, ja, dann ist das vielleicht noch easy, I guess.
Steht erst
Okay.
die Gleam Crafters und Celestials und Spectres und dann so einzelne Characters. Der letzte ist der Silver Star Slayer, a conservative YouTuber. Ach ja.
Ja, okay. Gut, das war's mit dem ersten Buch von, zumindest vom textlichen Inhalt, also vom Story-Inhalt.
Yes.
Ihr wisst, was ich meine. In Klammern ihr. Ja, also hier haben wir noch Acknowledgements
Mhm.
und
ist wahr.
Copyright.
Das Copyright sollten wir schon lesen, auf jeden Fall. Ach ja.
Wollen wir das Acknowledgement noch lesen oder lassen wir das?
Acknowledgements. Das ist Adam Severa speaking. Infinity Sun destroyed me time and time again. Okay, nein. Infinity Sun destroyed me time and time again, but so many of my heroes pieced me back together. Andrew Iliopoulos, Alter, epic Name, is a brilliant and magnificent editor who lived in this world with me so completely that he easily pictured Celestials flying outside his window. I wouldn't have a book that I'm proud of without all his guidance, which helped me unlock the story that's been with me for well over a decade. And his patience after I missed my deadline so I could rewrite the book. And that other deadline. And yup, that one too. Brooks Sherman got to geek out extra hard with me with this transition into the fantasy genre. We've talked about comics and superheroes for years, and I'm so happy I'm adding the Spellwalkers and co to the canon. My HarperCollins family, Rosemary Brosnan, Sari Murray, the epic, Michael D'Angelo, D'Angelo,
ja.
Audrey Dieselkamp, Alter, epic, Jane Lee, Tyler Breitfeller, Susan Murphy, Indie Queen, Katie Faber, Liz Bayer, ja. Caitlin Garing and Bria Rajan, Alter. And so much love to my cover designer Aaron Fitzsimmons, who worked with artist Kevin Tong to give me a glorious and iconic cover that brought legit tears to my eyes. Thank you everyone for all you've done and all you do. Thanks to my international publishers for making my stories more accessible to readers across the world, and to my agencies for being that bridge. Jodie Reamer was instantly charmed by my magical crew and flew right into this world with me as if she'd been here all along. Julianne Daly very generously managed my website and so many requests so I could focus on writing. My mom, Persida Rosa, never judged me as I cast spells with fake wands, drew demons in my book of shadows, and mixed potions with whatever we had in the fridge. And she always made sure I had notebooks and a computer to write my fan fiction so I wouldn't burst into flames. Even though this is a work of fantasy, my contemporary crew helped me out so much along the way. Becky Albertelli, Insta love for Emil and Brighton made sure I never lost their humanity within all the magic happenings. Becky Albertelli hat Love Simon, aka Sapiens Agenda Dings geschrieben. Sehr epic. Haben wir mal geguckt, glaube ich, den Film. David Arnold continues to out David himself, and I love him more than he loves using gifs. Jasmine Varga is a blast of sunshine who reminds me to love my art and live my life. Nicola and David Yoon are the greatest neighbors ever, and they're mine, all mine. Angie Thomas pushed me to write the book that little Adam never had and would have loved, and believe I did that. Corey Wally believed in the story back when it was going to be a dark fairy tale for kids. And Kurt Stevens pushed me to go for it with my ending, and I'm so happy I listened. I would have never gotten through this draft without my New York crew. Arvin Amadi is the ultimate hype man, Alter. Doniel Clayton has always supported my infinity dreams. Zoraida Cordova always checked in with me, with my mental well-being. Patrice Caldwell, naja, doch, bestimmt. Made sure I didn't hold back on anything, especially the glory of being queer and powerful. Mark Oshido, okay, keine Ahnung, hit me with expert notes. Laura Sebastian's high word counts during sprints motivated me to up my game. Emily X. R. Pan inspired me time and time again as we wrote and rewrote our hard books. Ich frage mich, was X für ein Name ist. Wie heißt die mit zweitem Namen? Dieses X.
Sandra.
So grateful for the friends who came outside their own fantastical worlds to check in on me as I created my own. Sabah, Slytherin, Hermione, Tahir always kept it super real with me because we didn't have time to pretend my story was great when it wasn't. Marie Lou's early passion for the story in 2015 was a powerful stamp of approval. Amy Kaufman. Kaufman. Skyped me in a Hogwarts t-shirt to help detangle the story's many threads. Alex London, von dem habe ich auch ein Buch.
Okay.
Warte, was ist das? Ist das Blade Winds Beating? Ich glaube, das ist von dem. Is my literally wingman with his own remarkable sibling story with fierce birds. Ja, okay, das ist das.
Okay.
Das ist das, was von der Schwester und dem Bruder in abwechselnden Sichten geschrieben ist. Sehr praktisch.
Aha, sollten wir auch mal lesen?
True. Kirsten White generously and hilariously helped me brainstorm titles years before Infinity Sun struck me like lightning one day. Victoria Aviard inspired me and entertained me and ate tacos with me. Taheri Murphy and Ransom Rigs. Das klingt irgendwie wie so eine Rigging-Software. Ransom Rigs. Have been so lovely and supportive since my book-selling days. Brandon Reichs grounded me when I was losing sight of the real work. Victoria Schwabs tweets and DMs kept the fire alive. Jay Christoph kept asking me where the Phoenix book was. Daniel Jose Older offered to guide me through the fantasy trenches like some foul-mouthed Yoda. Sasha Alsberg, YouTube icon who is way chiller than Brighton. Susan Dennard's summer sprints and writing tips were invaluable. Alexandra Bracken gave me a much-needed pep talk about the market, which I still think about. Roshani Chokshi, Alter, was? Quelled my fears about my writing my truth in this series. And huge thanks to Play. Ach Mann, ey. Baduk. Da bin ich doch froh, dass die meisten Leute, die ich kenne, ganz normale Namen, also was heißt normal, aussprechbare Namen haben. Lei Bardugo who kindly gave me her blessing to open this book with a perfect quote from Crooked Kingdom. Thank you to Cassandra Clare for being the first author to show me that queer boys could save the day. Amanda Diaz, Michael Diaz, Cecilia Wren, Luis Rivera, Sandra Gonzalez, Lester Andrade, and Keegan Strauss have all championed me and this book for as long as we've known each other. And Elliot Knight, Alter, cooler Name, came late to the game, but he's proven to be an invaluable player who kept me sane and happy and fed and loved and helped me act out my favorite Emil/Ness scene so I could write it right. Alter, richtiger, oh mein Gott, wie heißt sie?
Roleplay,
Wie heißt sie? Regina Mars Moment, das ist so ein richtig klassisches Ding, was die schreiben würde.
Achso,
Maybe we'll get more right in another lifetime, L. Infinite thanks to the booksellers, librarians, reviewers, and readers who've given me this life. Extra hugs to all the indie booksellers who united to help me reveal this gorgeous cover. Lastly, I'm forever grateful to Harry Potter and the Charmed Ones and the Winchesters and the X-Men for helping this Bronx boy find magic.
Alter.
Und natürlich danke an Super Seegucke Buchclub dafür, dass ihr dieses Buch kostenlos im Internet vorlest. Illegal. Wie dem auch sei.
Ja, dann hier checkt andere Bücher aus von Adam Lehner. More Happy Than Not. History is all you left me.
History is all you left me ist voll traurig.
What if it's us? Das klingt alles sehr traurig.
What if it's us? Dazu ist jetzt vor einiger Zeit das Sequel rausgekommen. Here's to Us von Adam Silvera und Becky Albertelli zusammengeschrieben. Ich weiß nicht, wie man ein Buch zusammenschreibt, aber okay.
Ja, so, die sind so ein Reden, so, ja, wir sollten das aufschreiben.
Dann natürlich They Both Die at the End, haben wir bereits gelesen, kann man sich natürlich geben, haben wir auf Deutsch gelesen. Dazu kommt ebenfalls demnächst, also bald, also nicht bald, aber ne, nächstes Jahr oder so, mal sehen. Dann Sequel raus, aka ein Prequel eigentlich, The First to Die at the End. Das wird auch interesting und ne, also wenn ich was von Adam Silvera empfehlen müsste, dann wäre, glaube ich, More Happy Than Not.
Ja, kenne ich nicht. Also, ich sag mal, ich glaube, das kann man sich alles gönnen.
Das sowieso, aber man muss halt immer prepared sein, dass es ganz schön dramatic und sad
ja,
sein könnte.
Ziemlich sad sein, da muss man mit leben.
Ja.
Aber das kann einem ja auch sehr gefallen, also.
Eben.
Ja, kein Problem.
Genau, ein bisschen auf den Boden zurückbringen. Zeigen, yo, ist nicht immer alles so gut.
Ja, und dann, oh mein Gott. Am Ende habe ich jetzt hier nochmal eine Kapitelübersicht.
Aha. Okay.
Interessant. Also
Ja.
ich habe jetzt hier so die ganzen Kapitel und deren Namen.
Ich nicht, glaube ich.
Ja. Ich dachte, sowas ist sonst am Anfang.
Gut. Achso.
Das ist so interessant rot. Achso, ich kann draufklicken. Ah, okay.
So, und das nächste Buch ist dann Infinity Reaper. Ich frage mich, um was es da geht. Und dann geht es natürlich spannend weiter, so wie es jetzt aufgehört hat. Mal gucken, was passiert. Wird Brighton sterben, weil er, keine Ahnung, Blood Poisoning bekommt, weil er ein absolut ungetestetes, krasses Ding da getrunken hat, was eigentlich für Luna vorbereitet war und nicht für ihn? Oder wird er besessen und der neue Luna Boy?
Oder ist einfach nur Grey Seawater gewesen.
Und wofür wird Ness sich entscheiden? Wird er dem Senator helfen oder wird er in die Bounce gehen? Oder beides, man weiß es nicht. Oder gar nichts. Vielleicht.
So viele Fragen.
Ja.
Vielleicht geht es im nächsten Buch einfach um komplett andere Leute.
Stirbt Emil jetzt? Der wurde gerade mit dem Infinity-Ender in den Bauch geballert.
Ja, ich hätte erwartet irgendwie, dass sie ihm die Potion geben, aber egal, I guess. Genau, weil er dann lebt. Ja. Aber naja, who cares?
Was mit Maribel? Geht die komplett nuts?
Who cares?
Ja. Das denke ich mir auch immer.
Was ist mit deren Mom? Ist die jetzt so, was? Herzattacke, tot.
Again.
Und dann ist Brighton so voll sad und rastet aus.
Yes.
Ah,
So viele Möglichkeiten. Das alles.
jagt Emil.
Und vieles mehr. Beim nächsten Mal.
Wenn
Wenn
es
es wieder
wieder
heißt,
heißt,
Super
Super
Sequoia
sehr
Buchclub.
Buchclub. Wir lesen Buch.
Wir lesen Buch.
Okay. Na dann, auf wieder, tschüss, Tüdelü
Tschüss.
und bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.
Tschüss.